Have you ever been at a place in life where you just feel like everybody else is thriving and living their best life and you're just over here just stuck trying to get through the day and don't even really know what's going on in your life? Stay tuned for the rest of this video because I'm going to give you my best tips on what to do when you feel stuck in life. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm very excited for today's video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Simone, and in today's video, we're gonna talk about something that all of us go through, all of us. I have been through it many times in my life. In fact, I would venture to say that this is a feeling that I have to consistently look at in my life. And I know, I'm getting better at not letting it turn into prolonged periods of time. I'm getting better at just catching it when I start feeling it and figuring out a solution. But I want to talk about this notion of feeling stuck, which is something that all of us go through in life. And oftentimes what happens is we allow this feeling to overwhelm us, to cripple us to the point that days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, months turn into years, and then we're just like, what the heck have I been doing with my life for the last, decade? So hopefully we're gonna be able to catch it today for you, give you some solutions today that will help you get out of a rut, help you figure out why you're feeling stuck so you don't let this turn into a decade, because Lord knows we don't want that. I don't want that for you. That is not your best life. There's a lot of information out there about how to get out of a rut, what to do with feeling stuck. I'm sure there's books and there's all sorts of things on the topic. And this really is something that we could dive into like in a series, but I'm not going to. I just kind of want to open up the conversation today. And like I said, give you some of my best tips, some of the things that I have found to help. Some are very simple, very practical. Some might be a little bit more thought-provoking. We're going to dive into some of those tips. First thing I want you to know is that feeling stuck, like I said, is totally normal. We all go through this. Sometimes we feel stuck. We feel stuck in our marriage. We feel stuck in our jobs. We just feel stuck in life. And the best way I can put this feeling is it's almost paralyzing. It's like you feel almost numb, like I just don't know what the heck I am doing. That, I guess, would be the best way I can feel it. I can feel it, wow. That would be the best way I can describe it, I guess. And I think there are varying degrees of feeling stuck. I think there's, you're feeling stuck in a day because really you just got distracted and you allowed a lot of things that day to overwhelm you. And so you're feeling stuck, but there's degrees of it. I think there's, surface level, and then there's the deeper level where you're like, I'm ready to quit and leave my children and my family and run away to, a foreign island where it's an all-inclusive resort and people just wait on me all day. So there's different degrees of feeling stuck. But my goal today, like I said, is that some of these tips and this advice that I give you will help you identify how you got there and give you some motivation to get out of it. Because listen, you matter, your life matters. And I don't want to see you get to the end of your life and feel like I lived 40 years numb and paralyzed, just going through the motions, allowing life to pass me by and not actually enjoying, thriving, having the best life that I could have had. And I believe all of us can have amazing marriages and amazing families and amazing careers. And unfortunately, I've seen this happen with so many people. I can remember when I first found out I was pregnant, and if I'm just having honest, real, raw conversation with you guys, I instantly just felt paralyzed. I think for like the first 3 months of my pregnancy, which, hey, some people can say it's the first trimester, whatever. My mind was a mess, you guys, because I'm gonna be honest, I battled the fear of losing my life and, what's gonna happen? What is this gonna look like? And am I gonna be a good mom? And all of this stuff. And so I actually allowed all of these thoughts, all these emotions to get me into a place where I was like literally paralyzed. I'm like, Simone, you gotta wake up, girl. You can't figure out the whole world in one day. Just let it go today. And so I can relate with feeling stuck. First thing I want you to know today is this: that feeling stuck is first a feeling before it is something that you're believing. So it begins with this feeling, this overwhelming sense of like, I feel trapped. I feel like I can't get out. And then what happens is if we don't identify that feeling, we start believing we are trapped. We can't get out. There is no way out of this. And frankly, those are all lies. You know, God has always given us a way out. And so we've got to identify the feeling before it becomes a belief system, because if it becomes a belief system, then it's a lot harder for us to fight through that. So when you are feeling stuck, the first thing you need to know is that this is a feeling, okay? And what do feelings do? Feelings are symptoms that something is going on. Okay, it's a sign that something is going on. So, you know, feeling stuck to the body, feeling stuck is like what pain is to the body. Feeling stuck really is a symptom and a sign that you need to grow, that something needs to change. And I want to give you this because a lot of us feel stuck, and then what happens is we hear things like, oh, okay, I need to change. So we run away from all of our problems. We run away from, you know, we end great relationships. We run away. And I'm not saying that when you're feeling stuck, you need to run away. What I'm saying is that when you're feeling stuck, it's a sign or a symptom that something needs to change, and that there's possibly an area, or not even possibly, there is an area that you need to grow in. And the difference between those two is running away is a reaction. It is an emotional response. It is reckless. It's not thought through, okay? Making a change or realizing there's an area that you need to grow in, and the carrying out of that is something that is thoughtful. It is something you have given a lot of attention to. So that's the difference between running away and realizing that there's things that need to change. Realizing that there's things that need to change is not so much an emotional response as it is or not so much an emotional reaction as it is a logical response. Okay, I need to figure out what's going on here. I need to grow. I need to make a change. So wanted to give that to you first of all, because I've seen this happen for people where they're like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna run away. No, not the solution, okay? My next tip for you is this. When you're feeling stuck, start asking some questions, okay? Those questions include, when did I start feeling overwhelmed? Where did I get overwhelmed? Now, I said there's varying degrees of feeling stuck. Sometimes you get 8 hours, 6 hours through your day and you're like, what the heck? Why do I feel so stuck today? Where did you get overwhelmed? Where did you allow yourself to lose focus? Where did you get distracted? Identify that. Cut that out. Okay, that's making a change. And focus your attention on what you need to have your attention on. That's a very simple thing. And I think a lot of the things that lead to us getting stuck are very simple little things that if we would catch in the moment, we would not find ourselves in that place. So where did you get overwhelmed? You know, one of the things that I think we struggle with, especially in today, we live in the information age, and there's so much information coming at us all the time. And I've been guilty of this, where I'm like, okay, I want to grow, I want to change. And I listen to like 30 podcasts and my brain is like on overload. It's fried. I don't even know what I listen to. I don't even know what to implement. So sometimes we can even just get so much information that we are overwhelmed. And so maybe you need to like just cut everything out and ask some questions. What do I need to implement right now? What do I need to start doing right now? What out of all the information I've listened to should I start doing? Because sometimes we mean well and we start listening to all this information because maybe we are feeling stuck. Maybe we want to get out, and that just overwhelms us even more, and we don't even know what the next step is that we should take. So try not to overwhelm yourself. Let yourself get overwhelmed with information. Look for what those little things are that you can start to implement, because this is another way that you get unstuck, is you find something that you can do and you start doing it. The next question that I would give you to ask is, where did I get disappointed? You know, we don't realize how much disappointment and discouragement plays a role in us getting stuck. And I've seen so many people go through this, where they go through the death of a loved one, or they go through, a massive breakup or divorce, and the disappointment and the discouragement from those life events it traps them. It becomes like a prison that they live in, and they feel stuck and they can't get out. So I would ask the question, where did you get disappointed? Where did you get discouraged? Again, if we boil all of this down, it all goes back to, I'm feeling stuck because something needs to change. I need to grow. So am I feeling discouraged or am I feeling disappointed? What led to that? Where do I need to get some healing? Because maybe you're feeling stuck because there's a wound there that hasn't gotten healed yet. And I would advise you to talk to somebody, message me. I would gladly love to talk to you about it and help you move on from this place. A lot of people, you'll see, they get stuck, they gain a ton of weight, and not that I'm shaming anybody. This is not anything like that. This is not about body image, but this is about a healthy life. And that's not healthy. When you go through mass grief and you put on, 150 pounds, that's not healthy. That is another sign, another symptom that you are stuck, that something needs to change. Maybe something needs to get healed. Maybe you need to grow in an area. So ask those questions. Where did I get overwhelmed? Where did I get discouraged? Where did I get disappointed? And where do I need to allow my heart to be healed? And then, like I said, talking to somebody, talking to a pastor, talking to someone that will be able to help you find healing. And I would gladly love to do that with me. That is, you shoot me a message, leave me a comment with your email, and I will email you. I want to give you another little tip. Listen, growing does not have to take a huge time commitment. Growing every day doesn't require tons and tons of time. You can grow every day. I would say start small. If you're feeling stuck, just start doing something. This is something that I wanted to give you guys as well. When you're feeling like you're in a rut, like life is passing you by, like you don't know what to do, keep showing up. This is so important, you guys, because what happens is we feel this way, we go, and maybe you're an introverted person. Maybe that's how you figure life out. I know I'm an external processor, so I'm a little different. Sean is an internal processor. So it's been fun, learning that about each other and how to respect each other's boundaries and all of that. But I will say this, you can allow yourself to go so inward that you shut down, you get so much in your head that it's not productive. And that leads to you even being more stuck. So let me say this. If you're feeling this way, don't stop showing up. Keep showing up. You're like, well, Simone, what does that mean? It means be present. Show up to your marriage. Show up to, the conversations with your children. Show up when you're at work. So you got to keep showing up. And let me say this too. It is okay to not know what to do. Sometimes in life, you just don't know what to do. You don't know what the next step is. You don't know what job you should take. You don't know what decision you should make next. And that can be overwhelming to the point that it shuts you down and you get, you guessed it, stuck. So it's okay that you don't know what to do. You'll figure it out, all right? But you gotta keep showing up. You've got to keep being present. And that is one thing I will tell you. And what happens often is when we find ourselves showing up, and not just physically, but being present emotionally, being present, being intentional to be present when we're in conversations with people, being intentional to be present when we're at work, and saying, nope, I'm not going to get caught up in my mind right now and not knowing where I'm going or what I'm doing and blah, 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 all this stuff. Okay. I'm just gonna be present and do the task that's in front of me. You know what happens is, out of that place, we often find ourselves hitting a new place of inspiration, and creativity comes and solutions come. And so if you don't know what to do, keep showing up. Take inspired action. Don't focus on how or when. Just make those small little tweaks, those small changes. Show up every day. Be present with where you're at. Look for ways to grow. Like I said, growth doesn't have to be this huge process. You reading a chapter of a book a day, listening to a podcast. These are all ways that can help you grow. Next tip for you is this. If you are feeling stuck, take a look at your expectations. Okay, and this doesn't come from me. I actually heard this from Tony Robbins, where he talked about it's often our expectations that are causing us to suffer. And he says you've got to trade your expectations for appreciation. And oftentimes we feel like we're in this place that we can't get out of, and we feel trapped and we feel numb and all of these things because we had a failed expectation. There was something that we thought was going to happen, and guess what? it didn't happen. We thought God was going to do something a certain way, and guess what? He didn't do it that way. That is life, okay? And what happens to us though is when we have an unmet expectation or a failed expectation, we thought marriage was going to be a certain way. We thought it was going to be la la land and fairy tales. And let me tell you, marriage is wonderful and it's amazing and relationships are awesome, but they are work, okay? And they require a lot of sacrifice, and you have to be willing to grow if you're going to be in a marriage or in a relationship. If you're going to get that promotion, anything in life that is hard is going to take effort. It's going to take you putting in the hard work. It's not just going to happen. And so sometimes the reason why we get to that place where we feel shut down, we feel numb, is because we allowed an expectation to cause us to suffer. So I love that he said that you've got to trade your expectation for appreciation. And instead of looking around and being so disappointed and so discouraged by the expectations that you had that did not get met, look around and start to appreciate the wonderful things that you have in your life, the beautiful people that you have in your life, the amazing job that you have in your life. It's okay to feel like you're not where you want to be yet. We all feel like that. But it's not okay to allow the I haven't arrived yet feeling to cause you to become numb. You just look at life like, hey, it's a journey. That's going to be in my next chapter. Maybe that wasn't in this chapter, but you know what? I'm going to believe for something great in my next chapter. I'm going to appreciate what I have in my life right now and appreciate the gifts that God has given me right now while still, believing for more. I don't believe that's a wrong thing to have, standards for your life. But I do agree that we can find ourselves feeling shut down because we had a preference. We had an expectation that was more a preference than it was something that God was going to fulfill in our life. So I guess that could be another question too. Where did I have an unmet, or where do I have an unmet expectation, and how have I allowed that to cause me to feel stuck? The thing I would tell you is don't overanalyze. This goes back to getting in your head. Take small daily actions towards change, and you're gonna find yourself getting out of that place of feeling like you're stuck. Maybe you need to go take a vacation. Maybe you need to go get some rest, okay? But again, I wanna come back to the place that feeling stuck is a sign, it is a symptom that something needs to change, or that there's an area that you need to grow in. And like I said, we're not running away from our problems, okay? We're facing them, and we're coming to the point of facing them, and we're figuring out what needs to change here. Because a lot of times we throw away really great relationships, or we throw away really great careers because we don't recognize that we're the ones that need to change. Sometimes you need a physical change, you need a job change, you need a relationship change. Sometimes it's just us that need to change. We've become bored. We've become mean. There's a lot of mean people in the world, okay? Let me tell you, I've experienced quite a few of them. So that's some of my best tips for you guys today. I hope that helps you. Again, I just wanted to come alongside of you, be your little coach in your corner, telling you that your life is worth it, you are worth it. And if you're feeling stuck, again, it's totally normal. Just as a recap, if you're feeling stuck, it's normal. You gotta know that when you're feeling this way, you don't want it to become a belief system, because you're not stuck. You have options. There's decisions that you can make to get out of this. We just wanna make the right decisions. So again, we need to realize that feeling this way means that something needs to change, something needs to grow. We're not running away, all right? We're facing the issue, we're facing what's going on. Ask yourself the questions. Where did I get overwhelmed? Where do I feel discouraged? Where do I feel disappointed? Where did I allow my unmet expectations to cause me to get numb, to cause me to get bitter, to cause me to get hurt, and to shut down? How can I start making small daily changes that are going to help me grow, help me become the person I need to be, and help me to appreciate the things that I have in my life? And again, remember, it's okay to not know what to do. You've just got to keep showing up. So I hope that helps you today. If you have any questions or comments, concerns, anything, you know, like you're going through, I'd love to talk to you in the comments below. If you did like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already. I'll have more of my pregnancy chronicles coming your way very soon. And thank you guys for tuning in. I love you and I'm here for you, whatever you need. I'll see you in the next video.